The coronavirus pandemic has claimed tens of thousands of lives across the globe. One of the critical equipment needed in managing patients of this disease is a ventilator. This piece of equipment is expensive and scarce. Correspondent Larry Adeyemi in this special report brings us the story of a group of young men in Gombe that have produced this essential medical equipment.
Ventilators have become precious commodities. Today, many would trade gold for a ventilator.
We need ventilators. I said, wow, that's a big statement.
As countries considered as industrial giants struggle to produce this equipment, hope is coming from a very unlikely source in Nigeria. 3 young men in Gombe have successfully produced a medical-grade ventilator. The machine is small and looks crude, but it gets the job done.
So it depends on the type, the force you use to compress. So that's one of the tricky part of the programming. So you have to make sure that you dispense only 500 milliliter, which is what the lungs need.
This ventilator is a child of ideas. It was born out of a desire by these young men to find solutions to problems in their society. Without support or funding, they had to scrap for components wherever they could find.
I was like, there are people making a lot of ventilators in the world, and these are things I think we can do. What do you think? There are so many designs around, but how can we make our own? And then we started discussing about ideas. We brought out a paper, and then we drew.
Normally, what I do is dismantle things. So I dismantle a lot of things and I remove some of the equipment, some of the components and keep them. So whenever I'm about to do something, I use the materials from
scrap
from
scraps,
yes, because there are so many things here that were from the scraps from a radio, and then from a DVD there.
For these young men, this living room is their laboratory, research hub, and manufacturing workshop. Eating, sharing ideas, and working. They are in the process of designing and producing another ventilator, which would be better than the initial model.
How old are you now?
I'm just 20 years old.
20 years old. And you designed and manufactured a sweeping machine. What else have you done again?
Portable
electric stove. Then you also designed that ventilator I saw in that video.
Yes.
How long have you been doing this?
So since 2014.
2014, so you're talking about 6 years ago.
Yeah,
so you're probably 14 years old when you started.
Yes.
What were your parents thinking about? Like when people see you do all this now, your friends, they would just be like...
Yeah, they were just thinking, oh, this guy is just wasting his time. He's just focused on his studies. So people are just thinking that maybe he's just wasting his time doing things that will...
Did people laugh at you? Like, maybe this guy is crazy?
Yeah, so many people.
You, as a person, you need to think about how you will solve problems for your own community, for yourself. Not somebody, nobody will come and do it for you.
Regardless of the challenges and ridicule he has had to endure, 20-year-old Usman is more motivated than ever. He says coming around other innovators has inspired him. Still, he is frustrated by Nigerians spending a fortune to import things that could be locally manufactured for a fraction of the amount.
There is a machine we designed 12 years ago and it's still working till this day. And it was worth 4 million naira, and the same machine that was imported was 45 million naira.
I even met someone, I come up with the idea of the sweeping machine. I told him that this is what I have, let's come together and build the machine. He just laughed. He said it is not possible. Because if it is possible, 1,000 people before they could have done it before you. So after I did the machine, I came over with the machine, I just sweep the person's room.
Beyond the ventilator, the automated sweeper, and the drilling machine, these young men have ideas that would solve problems in several areas, such as environment, water supply, and rural health care.
In Nigeria alone, I think we generate about 23 million tons of plastic waste each year. So we come up with a new idea of producing polymer, biodegradable polymer, which can degrade easily for packaging and pharmaceuticals, all the packaging materials.
Most people complain about problems in this society, but these young people are preferring solutions. They produce this ventilator as an example of what they're capable of doing. There are thousands more Nigerians out there with great ideas and vision of what they can do to solve problems. If governments coordinate these people and assist them, Nigeria could become a major manufacturing hub in the world. Lanre Adeyemi, TVC News, Gombe.